Want me to take off? But don't worry, we'll
Clear
see
for
plenty.
takeoff. Please enjoy your flight.
Why don't you just tell me what you do?
I already did.
Whatever you do, that's your own business.
This is all about you.
I'm sorry, about me?
I need you to call your hotel, move key from 3825, suite 4080.
No, I don't think
Yes,
I don't.
you do, if you want your dad to live. J.R. Joe Reisert, your father, yes?
Where did you get that?
Dallas Love Field Airport, late evening. A storm is rolling in, and the red-eye flight to Miami has been pushed back indefinitely. Among the stranded travelers stands Lisa Reisert, a sharp, composed woman in her late 20s who manages one of the most prestigious hotels in Florida, the Lux Atlantic. She's just buried her grandmother, and the exhaustion shows in her eyes. She wants nothing more than to get home, sleep, and forget this week ever happened. But somewhere in the same airport, a man is watching her. He knows her name, he knows where she works, he knows her father's address, and he knows exactly what she's going to do for him before the sun comes up. Hours earlier, in a quiet suburban home, an older man named Joe Reisert sets his wallet down on a side table before stepping away for a moment. When he returns, the wallet is gone. Inside, it was a photograph of a young woman in a graduation gown, his daughter Lisa. That same wallet, marked with the initials JR, is now being slipped into an envelope and mailed to a man on the other side of the country. The plan has been months in the making, components disguised as a fish shipment, surveillance on a single oceanfront suite, a photograph of a daughter used as leverage. And tonight, the final piece of the operation is sitting at a Texas airport bar, sipping a drink, completely unaware she's the centerpiece. Back at the Lux Atlantic Hotel in Miami, Lisa's young colleague Cynthia is drowning. A pair of guests are screaming at her because their reservation has vanished from the system. Cynthia, panicked, calls Lisa for help. Even on bereavement leave, Lisa handles it like she's done it 1,000 times. Calm voice, quick fix, complimentary upgrade, problem solved. Cynthia, relieved, mentions that Charles Keefe, the U.S. Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security, is checking into the hotel the following morning with his entire family. Lisa doesn't think much of it. To her, it's just another VIP booking, just another guest, just another day at the front desk. She has no idea those words, Charles Keefe, are about to define the rest of her night.
It's very nice of you.
Once again!
At the airport, Lisa watches a frustrated man berate the gate agent until she steps in to defend the young woman behind the counter. That's when he appears. Tall, polite, eyes the color of cold water. He silences the angry passenger with a single composed sentence, then turns to Lisa with a faint, disarming smile. His name is Jackson Rippner. He offers to buy her a drink. She politely declines, citing a phone call she needs to make to her father. But fate, or something pretending to be fate, has other plan.
Come with me, you two.
Oh my God! No, it's fine, it's fine.
Minutes later, she runs into him again at the airport bar, and this time she sits down. They talk about her grandmother's funeral, about her job, about the strange comfort of meeting a stranger when you're too tired to keep your guard up. He's charming, he's funny, he listens, and when the gate announcement crackles overhead, they walk to the plane together like two people who might just exchange numbers when they land. She doesn't know it yet, but he's already memorized her seat number because he's the one who chose it.
Please to your right. Enjoy your flight. 18G, right down the aisle to your left.
Inside the cabin, Lisa scans her boarding pass, then looks up at the man already seated in 18F, Jackson Rippner, smiling, patting the empty window seat beside him. What a coincidence, his face says. What a small world. Lisa laughs softly, settles in, and tucks her self-help book into her lap. The same book she'd lent to a kind elderly woman a few rows back during boarding. The plane taxis, the engines roar. They lift off into the storm, and for about 20 quiet minutes, everything is normal.
So your
I'll
mom
move back to Texas.
and his dad still work?
He's recently retired.
But he forgets to bolt the engine to the wing.
Yeah,
Sit well seated as we may hit more turbulence. Thank you.
thanks for distracting
It's
me.
not really what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
Just keeping the focus on you and your father.
Why?
Part of my job.
Then Jackson leans toward her, his voice dropping into a register she hasn't heard from him before. Calm, surgical, empty of warmth. He tells her he needs her to do something for him. He tells her Charles Keefe, the Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security, is a regular guest at her hotel. He tells her Keefe is checking in tomorrow morning at 5:30, and he tells her that, Before this flight lands, she's going to pick up the seatback phone and reassign Keith from his standard suite, room 3825, to a specific oceanfront suite, room 4080. If she does this one small thing, everyone she loves walks away alive. If she doesn't, her father will be dead before sunrise.
As fate would have it, my business is all about you.
I'm sorry about me. I'm not sure where you're going with this.
Charles Keefe, one of your regular VIPs. Ring a bell?
No, should it?
Because right now he's on his way to your hotel.
No, I don't think I don't have to do that.
You want your dad to live.
Lisa stares at him, certain this is some sick joke. Then Jackson slides something across the tray table, a worn leather wallet. The initials JR embossed on the front, her father's wallet. Inside, her own graduation photo. And just like that, the cabin pressure seems to collapse around her.
Definitely Dad's wallet, his initials, credit card, license.
Is there anything more terrifying than realizing the friendly stranger sitting beside you has been studying your family for months? She reaches for the flight attendant call button. Jackson doesn't flinch. He simply tells her that no air marshal, no flight attendant, no pilot will believe her story in time to save her father. A silver BMW is already parked outside Joe Reisert's home, he says. A man is sitting inside it, listening to music, sharpening a knife, waiting for a single phone call. One word from Jackson and Joe dies. One scream from Lisa and Joe dies. The senior flight attendant arrives, smiling. Lisa swallows her tears. Jackson, smooth as silk, explains that his friend has had a rough day, a death in the family. Could she perhaps bring some water and tissues? The attendant nods sympathetically and walks away. The trap clicks shut.
I need you to call your hotel and told to move Keith from 3825.
You've got the wrong person. I don't.
You need me to write it down?
No.
One simple phone call saves your dad's life.
I want to talk to my dad.
After you make the call.
No.
Lisa, voice trembling, demands proof that her father is still alive. Jackson, almost gentle, agrees. He hands her the phone. She dials. Joe answers, sleepy and concerned. He can hear something wrong in his daughter's voice. He asks if she's okay. Before she can answer, Jackson takes the phone and ends the call. Proof of life delivered. Proof of leverage maintained. What follows is a slow, suffocating chess match at 30,000 feet, and Lisa is playing every piece while Jackson watches her hands.
Let's get this over with.
Her first move comes when a blonde passenger across the aisle struggles with her overhead luggage and calls Jackson for help. The moment his back is turned, the elderly woman from the boarding line returns with Lisa's self-help book in hand, eager to discuss her favorite chapter. Lisa, thinking fast, grabs the book and a pen and scribbles a hidden warning between the pages. She hands it back with shaking fingers, praying the woman finds it before Jackson notices. But Jackson notices everything. He returns to his seat, glances at the book, and his expression turns to glass. Without a word, he headbutts Lisa across the temple, knocking her unconscious. He arranges her body to look like she's sleeping. Then he walks calmly down the aisle, retrieves the book from the dozing elderly woman, and quietly destroys the evidence. Lisa wakes a half hour later with a throbbing head and the realization that this man will hurt her in plain sight without a single passenger noticing.
Failing to fact. You make your head hurt, but obviously that's not happening, so controls just cleared us up to 35.
Her second attempt is more desperate. Pretending to make the call he's demanded, she dials the Lux Atlantic. Cynthia answers. Lisa starts to relay the room change, but turbulence rocks the plane and the in-flight communication system drops out across the entire cabin. The line goes dead. Lisa, refusing to surrender the only window she has left, keeps speaking into the dead receiver, pretending the conversation is ongoing. For a moment, it works. Then Jackson glances around the cabin, sees other passengers shaking their own dead handsets, and turns to her with a slow, knowing smile. He flags down the attendant himself, confirms the system is down due to weather, and tells Lisa, almost philosophically, that the next time she lies to him, her father's ashes will be the only thing waiting for her in Miami. Her third attempt is her boldest. She convinces him to let her use the bathroom. Inside, with shaking hands, she fogs the mirror with her breath and writes 4 desperate words across the glass. 18F has bomb. It's a stretch, a lie, but it might be enough to ground the plane and save everyone. She steps out of the lavatory hoping a flight attendant will be the next person inside. Instead, Jackson is already standing in the doorway. He shoves her back inside, locks the door behind them, and wipes the mirror clean with a single sweep of his sleeve. Outside, a young girl waiting for the bathroom watches in confusion. She tries to alert the flight attendant. The attendant, distracted and dismissive, brushes the concern off with a knowing smile, assuming the two of them simply want privacy. Inside that locked bathroom, Jackson grabs Lisa by the throat and tells her she's gambling with her father's life every time she pulls a stunt like this. And the worst part? She knows he's right.
You don't have to do this.
Someone do that to you? Is that what it is? No. Honest person. So you order anything for that because it doesn't serve me. It means to follow through. Are you sure we got a deal this time?
Excuse me. This isn't a motel.
Defeated, drained, and out of moves, Lisa returns to her seat. Jackson reconnects the call. She speaks to Cynthia. She tells her to move the Keefe family, citing a maintenance issue in the original room, and instructs her to put them in suite 4080. If anyone questions it, she's already approved it. Cynthia, trusting her boss completely, agrees. The order is placed, the trap is set, and somewhere in the dark waters off Miami Beach, a small fishing yacht is preparing to open a large wooden crate.
Outstanding. What?
My dad.
Jackson, for the first time in hours, looks almost relaxed. He tells Lisa that as soon as they land, they'll grab a coffee together, wait for confirmation of Keefe's death, and then he'll vanish from her life forever. He even lets a detail slip. Keefe's family is traveling with him, wife, children. Lisa, horrified, asks if they'll all die in that room. Jackson, with the unbothered tone of a man reviewing a quarterly report, says that someone, somewhere, has already made that decision. He's just the delivery boy. I think it's safe to say Jackson has badly misjudged the woman sitting next to him, because while he's been monologuing about coffee and confirmation calls, Lisa has been quietly retrieving something, a ballpoint pen, lifted from a sleeping boy a few rows back, now hidden inside the waistband of her jeans. As the plane begins its descent into Miami, she folds her hands in her lap and waits. 2 years ago, in a parking garage at knife point, Lisa Reisert was attacked. She still carries the scar across her chest. She still carries the memory of being powerless. She'd promised herself after that night that she would never let another man decide what happened to her body, her family, or her life. Jackson Rippner has just spent 6 hours forgetting that some women keep their promises.
Keys and things. We're putting you in suite 408 suite.
We're always in 3825.
Except 0 toilets are good.
They want us to switch rooms. Anything?
Fishing, I think.
Call it in.
The plane touches down. The cabin lights brighten. Passengers stand and stretch. Jackson turns his head for 1/2 second, and Lisa drives the pen into his throat with everything she has. He gags. He chokes. Blood blooms across his collar. Lisa snatches his cell phone from his lap, climbs over him, and runs. Passengers scream. The flight attendants rush to Jackson's slumped body. Lisa shoves through the aisle, out the door, into the jet bridge, into the terminal, sprinting like her father's life is being timed in seconds. Because it is.
You dined at our terminal before? I used to. Where did she go? Sir!
Don't speak. You don't want to damage your vote. Too bad. It's just.
Jackson pulls the pen out of his own neck, ties a handkerchief around the wound, and starts walking, then jogging, then running. Inside the terminal, Lisa frantically tries Jackson's phone. No signal, no bars, no way to warn Cynthia. She spots a hotel courtesy phone, dials, and gets nothing. She glances up and sees Jackson stalking through the crowd, scanning faces, hunting. She bolts. She slips onto a departing airport tram just as the doors hiss shut, Jackson slamming his palm against the glass on the wrong side. She rides into the parking structure, jumps out, and steals an unattended SUV idling near the curb. Finally, mercifully, the phone gets a single bar of signal. She calls Cynthia. She tells her, in the calmest voice she can manage, that everything she said on the plane was a lie, that Keefe is going to die in that suite, that she needs to pull the fire alarm, get him out, get them all out, right now. Cynthia hesitates for a heartbeat, then she runs. Meanwhile, on the fishing yacht in the harbor, 2 men open the wooden crate and lift out a shoulder-mounted Javelin missile launcher. They aim it at the oceanfront window of suite 408. Oh, they wait for confirmation. They don't get it. They fire anyway. Cynthia bursts into the suite seconds before impact, screaming at the Secret Service detail, dragging Keith and his wife and children out the door. The missile streaks through the night sky and detonates inside an empty room. The Atlantic glitters with falling glass. Charles Keefe stands in the hallway, alive, staring at the smoke pouring from a suite he should have been sleeping in. But Lisa's night isn't over. The phone in her hand dies as she's dialing her father. She floors the SUV through Miami traffic, lungs burning, hands shaking, praying she's not too late. She arrives at her father's house and sees the silhouette of a man on the front porch. Jackson's hitman, exactly where Jackson promised he'd be. He raises a pistol and fires. Lisa doesn't slow down. She doesn't swerve. She drives straight through him. She runs inside. Joe is alive, rattled, but alive. He's already called 911. The police are on the way. For the first time in hours, Lisa allows herself to breathe, which is, of course, exactly when Jackson walks through the front door. He'd been right behind her the whole time, throat bandaged, voice ruined, eyes burning with something past rage. He knocks Joe unconscious in the foyer before the older man can react. Then he turns those pale eyes on Lisa, and the chase begins again. Only this time, the cabin walls are gone, the rules are gone, and the only thing standing between him and Lisa Reisert is Lisa Reisert. She runs upstairs, she slams doors, she climbs out windows, she doubles back, lures him into the kitchen, then disappears again. She'd told him on the plane, just before the pen, that she was done being a victim. Now she's proving it. She arms herself with a hockey stick from her childhood closet. She positions herself in the dark beside her bedroom door. When Jackson finally breaks it down, she swings with every ounce of pain he's ever caused her. He absorbs the hit and keeps coming. He hurls her down the staircase. She crashes hard at the bottom, dazed and bleeding. He descends slowly, knife in hand, savoring the kill. She lunges for the dead hitman's pistol that she dragged inside and fires. The bullet hits him. He stumbles, but he doesn't fall. He kicks the gun from her hand and looms over her, knife raised, ready to end it. A gunshot cracks through the house. Jackson Rippner staggers, eyes wide, and looks down at his chest. Behind him, Joe Reisert is standing in the hallway, the hitman's pistol smoking in his trembling hand. The man who threatened to murder his daughter's father has been killed by her father. Jackson drops to the floor. He doesn't get up again. The sirens finally arrive. Red and blue light floods the windows. Lisa crawls to her father, and they hold each other on the cold hardwood, surrounded by broken glass and broken doors, alive. Across town, Cynthia stands in the lobby of the Lux Atlantic Hotel with Charles Keefe and his family. All of them safe, all of them breathing, all of them changed.
Excuse me. Ladies?
Later, when Lisa walks back through those polished hotel doors in her bloodied clothes, Keefe meets her in the lobby. He doesn't have a speech prepared. He doesn't need one. He thanks her quietly, the way men thank the people who saved their children's lives. Cynthia rushes over and pulls her boss into a hug.
You are so my hero.
And for the first time all night, Lisa lets herself cry without fear of who's watching. Jackson Rippner had spent months planning every detail of this operation. The wallet, the photo, the flight, the seat, the phone call, the missile. He'd accounted for every variable except one. The quiet hotel manager he chose as his pawn turned out to be the kind of woman who, once, had promised herself she'd never run again. He should have read her book.